He's an American hammer thrower but trains right here in Kamloops. Kibwe Johnson has been since 2008, working with legendary coach Anatoly Bondarchuk, who's helped him grow from a national athlete to an international contender. And now Johnson is aiming to defend his Pan American gold medal in the hammer event tomorrow. When Kibwe Johnson failed to make the U.S. Olympic team ahead of the 2008 Games in Beijing, he knew he needed a change to get to that next level. And that change was Kamloops. Now 7 years later, Johnson has added 5 more meters to his throws and is now attempting to win back-to-back Pan American gold medals.
I definitely want to repeat. It would be my 3rd medal. First I got a silver, 2nd gold, and championship record. Broke the record of one of my idols, the American record holder, Lance Steele. And a 2nd gold, 3rd medal, I definitely want to cap off, because this will probably be my last Pan Am, so I definitely want to cap it off on a high note, that's for sure.
Johnson, of course, wants to be at the top of the podium, but he has his eye on a season best. That would put him in the 78-meter range, almost 2 meters shy of his winning throw at the 2011 Pan American Games of 79.63 meters. Keep in mind, though, the 2nd place finisher in that 2011 Games only threw 72.71 meters.
I want a season best, so I'm just under 77 meters thus far. I think I can get 78, but as long as I have a season best, I will be happy. And then during the competition, we'll see what I can work with.
But even thinking about contending for an international medal, not to mention gold, was once a long shot back in 2008. Johnson says coming to Kamloops is the best move he could have made.
Well, it took me from a national level, U.S. national level athlete to an international athlete. And I knew that I had the potential to be an international level athlete, but in 4 or 5 years of throwing fairly far on a national level, I hadn't broken through there, and I could just feel it.
It's been his coach, Anatoly Bondarchuk, that's helped Johnson reach his full potential. A legendary coach and former Olympic hammer throw champion, Bondarchuk has tweaked Johnson's technique even through this season.
That has allowed me to be just more patient and relaxed. And hammer throw, and actually, like most track events, it's all about rhythm. And when you get into that rhythm, you'll usually find some success.
And Johnson is hoping to find that success in tomorrow's event. But beyond this Pan Am Games, Johnson is thinking about the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. He's looking to become the first U.S. athlete since 1956 to win gold. There's also in the short term the World Championships August 22nd to the 30th in Beijing. Around that time, though, also there's another special event for the Johnson family.
Wife and I are expecting our 2nd child. Baby's due August 24th, so I'll pretty much shut my season down then and be with her and my kids.
Keeping with the Pan American Games, the Canadian women's basketball team made history last night in Toronto. The first ever Canadian basketball team to win an international competition. Canada beating the United States 81-73 in the gold medal game, led by 19-year-old Kia Nurse, the youngest player on the national team, who's emerging as one of Canada's next stars.
Nurse against Harper, up and in.
She's one of those stars who sparkled brightest in the spotlight. Kia Nurse, only 19, led Canada against the best, the Americans.
What a game for Kia Nurse.
She and her team would not be denied.
Fires. It's off.
A stunningly impressive performance for Canadian women's basketball and for the native of Hamilton, Ontario.
My performance was a lot better than I expected.
So Canadian, even with a gold medal around her neck.
I mean, it's been an incredible experience. It's just been a real big whirlwind for me.
It has been a breakout year for Nurse, first with the preeminent U.S. college basketball program, the University of Connecticut, and now with the Canadian national team.
The composure, the competitive fire to explode and go for 33 points on the U.S. on the biggest stage in the biggest game. Can't say enough about her. I mean, one of the most impressive performances I've seen.
Talented, hardworking, and maybe something in the genes. Dad Richard Nurse played football for the Hamilton Ticats. Mom Kathy, basketball at McMaster. Sister Tamika played at Bowling Green, and brother Darnell Nurse is a budding NHL star.
It might be a little bit something in the genes. I mean, we are extremely competitive people from the time we were born.
The win here was really no fluke. In both women's and men's basketball, Canada has quickly developed world-class talent in one of the world's marquee team sports. The men's team kicks off its Pan Am tournament tonight, a serious contender, with established stars like the NBA's Anthony Bennett and another emerging sensation, Jamal Murray.
Preparing maximum intensity every day. It's a stepping stone to the bigger goal, which is qualify for the Olympics.
Canada is becoming deep in talent. NBA starters Andrew Wiggins and Corey Joseph will join the team next month when it tries to qualify for its first Olympics in 16 years. But right now, Canadians can bask in the afterglow of a gold medal by the Canadian women.
We maybe don't get the same amount of press as the men, but we feel like we're almost there. We're right at the cusp of being one of the world leaders in women's basketball right now.
And 7 more medals so far today at the Pan Am Games for Canada. An impressive start for Canada's track and field team. 5 medals in the first real full day of the track and field events, including 3 gold medals in men's pole vault, 3,000-meter steeplechase, and women's javelin, with Vancouver's Elizabeth Glido topping the podium. Canada now sits at 155 medals, 20 behind the Americans, who lead the way with 66 golds. Meanwhile, at the U19 Women's World Basketball Championships, the Wolfpack's Emma Piggin led the team in rebounds with 9 rebounds this morning. She also had 6 points on a pair of 3-point shots during 29 minutes on the floor. Canada lost, as you see, 67-52 to Belgium. They finished 1-2, third place in Group C, and will play Serbia tomorrow morning in a qualification game. The winner advances to the quarterfinals to play the winner of Argentina and the U.S. Game 3 of the Thompson Okanagan Junior Lacrosse League final goes tonight in Vernon. The Kamloops Venom, who have shocked much of the lacrosse world, have a chance to wrap it up and sweep the Tigers. The Venom are up 2-0 in the best-of-5 final going into tonight's tilt, thoroughly manhandling a previously unbeaten Vernon team that just hasn't seen this coming. They went 16-0 during the regular season, beat Kamloops in all 4 during the regular season, yet now find themselves in a 2-0 hole, needing to win 3 straight to come back and win the series. Just want to give you some insight into how crazy this 2-0 series lead is for the Venom. Here's how the season series played out. As mentioned, Vernon went 4-0, handed Kamloops its first loss of the season back on May 2nd, a 7-4 win for Vernon, when the Venom were really struggling with a shortage of players back then. All 4 games, though, were pretty close. 7-6 Vernon on June 13th, June 17th. The next week, Vernon won 8-7, and most recently on June 28th, Vernon came into Memorial Arena in the final meeting and won 10-4. Now contrast this with how this championship series has played out. The Venom up 2-0, winning game number 1, 16-12, the opener in Vernon, then with the 17-10 win Sunday night at home, and now with a chance to win the series tonight and move on to provincials for the first time since 2012. But there's still work to do, and the team knows it still has to win that always difficult third game.
It's huge. I mean, we got to take every game like it's the game 1, right? And we can't, take anything lightly because we're up 2-0. We got to come out and play with the same intensity and fire that we have in the first 2, and I think we'll be okay.
It's huge. They know that their backs against the wall, and we're expecting them to play well on Tuesday. And I think if we show the same effort tonight, we should be fine.
It'd be great, especially those guys haven't lost a game all year until the last 2, so it'd be nice. Our guys will be ready. We'll be ready. Light practice tomorrow, and then ready to kick some butt on Tuesday.
For the last number of years, there's been talk and rumors of relocation in the NHL, with teams like the Arizona Coyotes, Florida Panthers on the chopping block. And now the talk is about expansion. And as the deadline for the expansion bids ended yesterday, the NHL confirming only 2 ownership groups interested in bringing teams to Las Vegas and Quebec put their names in the hat. Either way, whether it's expansion teams or a team that relocates to another city or to either of those cities, one thing is for sure: former Kamloops Blazer and current Coyotes winger Shane Doan believes Arizona deserves a team.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. We've been the Phoenix Coyotes longer than a lot of other teams have been in the league, and we'll continue to be. Obviously, Bettman's made a pretty big commitment to the organization and keeping us there. And from the things that I've seen, yeah, it's got more than a place.
If you have a comment or story idea for sports, contact us at sports@cfjctv.com. I can be followed on Twitter @Klassen87, and you can get sports on demand at cfjctv.com.